This week on Not Another Shooting Show.
You and your butt guns.
It's so
Is this
funny.
a Freudian thing?
I don't think so.
Some practice sessions, you should question whether you should continue the sport.
Not quite so serial, Jeff. You suck! Gun pumping while running is stupid.
How dare you?
Masad Ayub says that's bad to do. He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show. We go to Miami-Dade County, Florida, Jeff. Where first responders...
Florida man.
First responders rushed into action after one of their own accidentally shot himself on Friday. According to police, officers responded just before 4 p.m. After being alerted to someone who had been shot. On arrival, they learned the victim was a Miami-Dade fire rescue official who had accidentally discharged his weapon. Do they carry guns? Do the firefighters carry guns?
The fire inspectors will.
Oh, okay.
A friend of mine's son-in-law is a fire inspector locally, and he carries a gun because they're essentially like investigating crimes.
Like they're law enforcement, essentially.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it doesn't say if that's what this guy was, but anyway, they rushed him to the hospital where he was in good, stable condition. Name was not released. Officers have yet to release any information regarding the circumstances that led up to the accidental shooting or whether he was on or off duty. I'm going to go with he was cleaning his gun.
I was, or P320.
You know what, though? That's had enough media attention. If that were the case, it probably would have been the lead. Like,
True.
They would be all over that in the press release. Like, it was one of them darn Sig Sauer pistols that everybody's suing everybody over. So,
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so today is, so Great Plains is coming up. This weekend, when you're hearing this, it'll be in 3 days. The match starts. We're recording this on Sunday, and I only spent half of my day dealing with match stuff. The other half was honeydew stuff on Mother's Day that I needed to get done. But I am a giant ball of stress right now. Like, it's match week. Clearly match week. Everything is just like...
All the disasters are happening. Everything that could have been done 3 weeks ago now needs to be done this week, and people are probably contacting you left, right, and center.
Actually, no. Lots of things. Everything's good to go. The only thing, I mean, there's little things like, like I have my list of things that needs to be done, but then there's the little subcategory things like the stage props I need to send to Sioux Falls Practical Shooters for the stage they're building. Okay, I hadn't done that yet. Arranging for those stage props to get transported to my range down in Canton. That has to be done. So that was a thing I was dealing with today when all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I don't have as much help for building the match as I've had in previous years. And it's not because people don't want to. It's just because people are busy, and it's just... Like, I've had a lot of people who normally work the match regularly that just aren't because they have kids graduating from high school this year or it's just, hell, I can't even spend as much time at the range this week as I normally would because of my new job.
Yep.
So, it's just everything. But I'm doing a better job of going, hey, can you handle this for me? Awesome. Thank you.
Yay.
Hey, can you handle this for me? Awesome, thank you. I ripped off your guys' idea from Cornhusker last year for the prize table. So after stage 5, you go to the prize table, and that'll be under the big tent. And
perfect.
People will do that. But there's still spots left. I've had a few withdrawals, and there's still plenty of room in the match, even though it says like 13 spots. Everybody who withdraws is still occupying a slot in the match, and there's still 2 ghost squads. So if people sign up. And I'm a little different. By the time you're hearing this, I will probably close registration after today. But if you sign up for the match now, you may not get a lunch. I'm just saying. Because I ordered the food from Subway today, the Easy Cater order, which is also a thing I ripped off from you guys a long time ago. You want easy lunches at a match, you go on Easy Cater and you order Subway lunch boxes. Weird thing about that, though. The first batch I ordered for Saturday were $6.99 each. And I went back, they were $7.49 after that.
Huh.
And even if I tried to make a new order for Saturday, it was the same price. It wasn't like by the day. I don't know why that happened, but
you caught it on a sale, or you caught them like right before they raised the prices.
Or because it might be the store doing it. Maybe if I switched stores, it would have been cheaper.
Oh yeah.
Because they're already busy doing a thing. We want more money if we're going to do more. Well, it's basically 2 orders on 2 different days from the same place. So anyway, yeah. But I'm stressed out because of that right now. You put in a thing about match stress versus real stress, and I'm guessing this is gamer versus tactard stuff.
Well, not necessarily. It's more like I see a lot of guys like get really stressed out over like the match is coming up and like, oh my God, like da da da. And I just like, I'm like, oh, that match is next week. Yeah, we'll do that. Like, because like, I realized it because I fight people every Friday. Like that's my go-to. And this last Friday got a little bit spicy.
Oh yeah.
Within the first round, we had 3 bloody noses.
Oh,
so yeah, it got spicy, and I'm like, okay, dealing with this is stressful. And then like I got thinking about the match. I'm like, yeah, every time I step up to the line, like I know some of the super squad. Well, I know a lot of the super squad guys, and some of them are kind of balls of anxiety. And I'm like, yeah, no one's gonna punch me in the face. Like if I shoot a bad stage, oh no. If I lose the match, oh no.
Yeah.
We will come back to this next year and try again. And so and also going back to like what you're dealing with, the stress of like putting on the event.
Yeah.
Is like,
oh, I don't give a shit how I shoot this week.
Right. Like sometimes people don't recognize that the real stress is the people on the back end doing all the like, oh shit, I got to do that. Oh crap, is this good? And people they're like, oh, the match, like, oh my God, like I always remember the guy at Cornhusker last year, I think he walked stages for 2 days.
I remember that.
Right, and I was like, bro, they're not that complicated.
No.
And like, while there were quote unquote options, like there were like 2 of them on most of the stages, and most people chose one of them, and that was it. And like at the end of the day, it became do the one you pick effectively. But like he was stressing himself out to the point, and then like I looked up his score. He finished exactly in the middle of his classification.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, you spent 2 days stressing about this.
Yeah.
When it's like, nope, show up to the line, go, oh yeah, this is my plan. Woosah.
I don't get nervous. It takes kind of a lot to make me nervous, and I don't say that in a cocky way. I say that because I've done so many things that made me really nervous that now I've gotten a little bit of an inoculation to it.
Yep.
Like when I used to work in radio, if I got to interview like somebody really famous, like that was nervous. Like,
right.
Like the 2 most nervous times I ever was in my life was before I interviewed Hillary Clinton, which yes, I did back in 2008. back when South Dakota's the one time South Dakota's primary mattered, when it was her versus Obama the first time around. It was the only time our primary mattered. And then the first time I went up on a stage to do like the radio hyping up the crowd before doing stage announcements or whatever. Yep. And it was in Deadwood, and it wasn't like a big huge band. I think it was like Grand Funk Railroad, I think was playing there. This would have been like 2003, 2002 maybe. Yep. But like it's full of people. Like I'm standing on a stage and there's like 6,000 people in the street like staring back at me, and I'm on a microphone like that was the first time I'd ever done that, and it was like, whoa, this is wild.
Right.
So and anytime I would do an interview with somebody I cared about, like that made me nervous, very, very nervous.
Yeah.
Famous person. So now I'm like going to shoot a match. And nobody's watching me. Like I played a couple years of college football, and there actually wasn't that many people in the stands, but like I played sports in front of lots of people a few times. That made me nervous. When I get up to shoot a stage, I just don't get nervous. Occasionally I'll get nervous at a big match I care about, on the first stage. Like the first stage I'll be a little nervous. But like after that, I'm like, it's just like, here we go,
Yep.
just doing a thing.
I do. I get that first stage. Like, does my gun work? Are the bullets in the right way? Like, I have like massive imposter syndrome, and then I shoot it. And I'm like, oh wait, yep, nope. I've been doing this task for 7 years. Like, everything is fine.
Mm-hmm. No,
and,
it's interesting though the way you brought that up though. Like the more you care about something, the more nervous you're going to be. I tend to not be nervous. I tend to be more self-loathing after I fuck up.
Yes.
That's sort of the symptom I have for caring a lot. Yes. I just absolutely hate myself when I screw it up later.
Yep. To call out Steven, he posted a stage from our Pro-Am match that we both screwed up, and we both yelled fuck at about the exact same time.
Like at the same spot in the stage?
Yep.
Oh God, that's funny.
Yep. And I was like, oh yeah, oh okay, yep. I don't carry it to the next stage. I like to let that energy. I have a theory that you need to let the energy out like right there, so you don't like hold on to it. And so I just let the energy out there and yell a couple curse words. I've thrown a mag or two, but like other than that, I'm like, okay, this stage is, we're done with this stage. We're going to the next one, and it will change like your confidence in what you're doing, but like there's energy you can bring and there's energy you should leave, and sometimes you bring the right energy with you from a mess up.
Yeah.
So
speaking of Steven, I had to shit talk him on Reddit a little bit because I thought of a couple of jokes that Steven is so good. He draws a pistol with a crayon in 0.7 seconds. Steven is so good, every time he sticks a reload, his wife gets horny. And Steven is so good, his shorts don't mind being up his ass.
I have joined the short shorts gang with them.
Oh no.
They're really comfy.
Well, they're just like normal shorts then. You're just buying normal shorts.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I've started wearing them, and I see the benefits.
Yeah. What are the benefits of short shorts?
You feel more mobile. It's like when you get new shoes, you feel like you can run a little bit faster.
No, as soon as you said it, like more mobile, like every time I start a stage, like the first thing I do right before I take my hand off my gun is I'll like pull up my pants on my knees, like standing or whatever, just to make sure like, yep, we're ready to go. Yep. By the way, Steven is so good, the RO calls his mics Michaels. Okay, so you have a retarded slide, or you retard your slide.
Yes.
You retard your slide.
Yes.
I'm sorry. So
I retard the fuck out of my slide.
Why?
So for anyone who does not know what a CZ Shadow 2 is, it is the best pistol out there for the money. It has a really, really itty bitty tiny slide, and the slide rails are on the inside. Mm-hmm. So the side of it is this big old fat slab. And so I don't have to worry about where my thumbs go. So I have larger hands, we'll say. And so when I form my grip, my thumbs just do what they're going to do. And they kind of push into the gun a little bit, I think, or like at least sit against them.
They're touching it.
They're touching it.
Yeah.
And so I, like everyone, I'm always looking at new guns, and someone was like, oh, hey, like I have a DWX. I was like, ooh, I want to play with that on the safety table. I immediately formed my grip, and both of my thumbs were just sitting against the slide. And I was like, well, this isn't going to work. And so I almost threw my 1911 over the berm at Area 3 like 6 years ago because for some reason my grip shifted as I got tired and I just started inducing malfunctions. And
oh, really? It wasn't like just a 1911 doing 1911 things?
I mean, it could have also been a little bit of that, but I also feel like my thumbs were not getting to the right place on it. So it is one of those, like, I can shoot M&Ps, I can shoot Glocks, I can shoot like most like polymer frame guns, but anything that has like no ledge between the trigger or the grip and the slide, my thumbs will rest against the slide. And you'd be surprised how little like resistance you have to put to stop a gun from functioning. Like, everyone's like, oh my God, if your hand's behind the slide, like, it's going to rip it off. And it's like, it only takes 9 pounds to pull it back into position. So like you
put a lot of lateral force on it. Yeah, it could slow it down.
Yep. And it only takes that much for it to either short stroke or to just, discombobulate.
The funny thing is, though, I thought of this after the episode last week when you mentioned this, and I was like, okay, so what do you do with your thumbs when you're shooting?
I let them sit on top of each other. So my I'm right-handed, so my right thumb is sitting on the extended safety on my Shadow 2, and then my left thumb is under that, but my thumbs are big enough that my right thumb is sitting on my support thumb. I always remember my trainer being, it's like two dogs having sex, and so like that's how I form my grip every time.
Oh, okay. That visual completely tracks. I know exactly what you mean. I have gone to the my thumbs aren't touching the gun at all thing. And that really started after I shot the Beretta. Because there's nowhere to put your thumbs on a Beretta.
Yep.
Not at all, because the slide is right there.
Right.
It's kind of the opposite. Like, think of a Beretta as the bottom end and CZ is the top end of frame to allow thumb to touch.
Yep.
And then like Glocks and everything else are kind of in the middle. There's nowhere to really rest your thumbs on a Beretta. And
yep.
I just got into the habit of they're just not in contact with the gun. They're kind of floating off to the side. And actually my firing hand thumb, I've grown to very much liking cocking that up in the air. Just because it makes sure I have my firing hand grip is on the way it needs to be. If I do that, it's just a little more snug. Like, here's a weird thing. If you just sort of like grab something with a fist and then like stick your finger out like it's your trigger finger and then just point your thumb up in the air.
Yeah.
Those fingers all automatically grip a little tighter just to counteract what your thumb's doing. And so I just started doing that because it meant I wouldn't, push into the gun. Like, I would have my grip all pre-tensed up. It was just a thing I found for myself that worked good. And I'd seen other people do that before, where they cock out one thumb up shooting one-handed. I didn't know why they did it. I just saw that they did it. And I didn't have a good explanation for why to do it. And so I never gave it much thought. It was just something I was aware of people doing. But,
Yeah. I handled a buddy's Beretta, and that's actually kind of where this knowledge of where my thumbs go came from, because I immediately gripped it, and like you said, my thumbs were
Your
against
thumbs are right
the slide.
next to the barrel.
Yeah, and he was like, huh. And it was actually my buddy Nolan's, and he immediately went, huh, and he switched back to his Glock shortly after, because he's like, that must be why I'm having so many issues. And I was like, that's the thing that I had not even thought about, because I don't really think about where my thumbs go. They are just on the side of the gun.
Yeah. I can't believe you actually got your hands on a Beretta. There's not a lot of vertical space.
They are whittled.
On the grip. Yeah. If the trigger guard was just, if the grip itself was just longer, but it would look stupid if the grip was any longer.
Yep.
It would, even though it needs to be, because the trigger guard is that whole area is so big. But anyway, gun pumping revisited. I trolled a little bit with the cover art for the last episode, because it was a dude shooting a rifle from my rifle class, and then I put gun pumping on all three targets he was shooting at. And it got a little bit of reaction. Like 3 people, I think, said something. But some of the gun pumpers, they really they feel strongly about it. They really do. And then I was interacting on Telegram, on the Paracast Telegram, and they were talking shit about me, talking shit about that too. And I'm like, hey, okay, if you've ever seen like the gun pump thing that people do, not to belabor the point, but like, have you ever played a sport or seen a sport where someone runs and then throws their arm way out in front of them and then pulls it back and then out in front and pulls it back?
But were they doing a task that needed to be at that level when they got done running?
What?
So part of the reason for the gun pump is to keep the gun up. So there's no sport where you finish with your hands, whatever task you're in, with your hands up.
Sure there is. Basketball? Like to receive a pass?
No.
Football to receive a pass? Baseball to catch a ball?
Yes, but I mean like the microseconds of like having the gun up as you come into position. So like that's kind of part of it. Is the idea is keep gun in, I mean, to quote Tactards, to keep gun in workspace and like not let it leave workspace.
But are we talking about the same gun pump?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm talking about my gun pump. I should clarify.
Like, if you're running, to me, there is an acceptable gun pump. If it's your gun is in your hand and your arms are swinging like they would very similarly to when you're running without a gun in either hand, well, that's fine. Like, yeah, that's just called running.
No, but I'm keeping the gun up. The reason I'm pumping it is because I'm trying to get arm motion, but I'm trying to keep the gun in my face. So I'm not dropping my arm to the side to run, because that is wasted time going from my waist to my head height.
Okay, so the gun pump I'm talking about is when someone like they start running and then they're like extending their gun hand all the way out and then going back and forth like they're stabbing somebody with the bayonet on the end of their gun.
Yes.
And it's usually an open gun.
We are talking about the same thing, yes.
Okay, that's stupid. Stop doing it.
No.
It doesn't help.
I reject your reality and I substitute my own.
No, it's not reality. You're in the Matrix, dude. That's not a real thing. It's not real.
You keep saying it, but gun pumpers unite.
You can unite all you want. You're just doing ridiculous gymnastics. It's okay. But I'll continue to troll it. So there was a huge thread on our Reddit. I forgot to even ask for stuff to talk about because there's already stuff to talk about from our Reddit. NASS on Reddit. Yes, you might end up finding some porn when you go look for it. So, one more Steven. This was the best one. My jokes weren't even the best one. Somebody, nouns and verbs on our NAS Reddit. Steven doesn't call his shots. They call him. Well played, sir.
I like that one.
That was the best one. Like, mine were good, but that was fantastic. But no, there was this whole thread about revamped divisions. Now, whoever posted it was just trying to be funny, but I kind of liked it. And it started a giant discussion with, like it was a legit Reddit thread. Like our first legit Reddit thread with like 29 comments. Like that's biggest so far. That's pretty cool. Thanks, guys. But the revamped divisions were... So it starts off... Let me just go into the whole thing here. Okay. So the first one is Zoomer, which is just PCC, no changes. Boomer competition. Well, that's open. Gen X competition is limited, but with 9mm major. Now, as a Gen Xer, I was mildly offended. I'm like, we grew up. We were like the last generation to grow up a little bit hard,
Back in my day,
our we still got hit to correct behavior, that was still a thing that happened, and no one thought it was abuse. I think we would have stuck with 40 major. We're more manly than that. Millennial competition is limited optics. Millennial production is carry optics with 15 rounds and a sane weight limit. Amish production is production 15. And then Masochist is combined single stack, L10, and Revo, but keep single stack 10 or 8 rounds for minor major. And it started a whole big thing. One thing that came up was how, and I completely disagreed with, PCSL has divisions that make way more sense today and don't have the legacy USPSA does. It'd be nice if USPSA would get it together and update divisions for current times, but I doubt it.
I agree with the second sentiment. I do believe that that they should just go through all of the divisions and be like, let's fix them because they need to change update every once in a while. But his first sentence I completely disagree with.
No, because the PCSL 1-gun pistol divisions are just like 3-gun pistol divisions. Like, it's either limited or open guns.
Well, and it's not even like fun open guns. It's the single port comp, like
because they don't have ones. That's because they don't need major.
Right, because they
like 3-gun open guns are the worst open guns.
Right, they specifically don't allow major power factor, which basically invalidates the point of an open gun.
Yeah, the comp actually makes it. I haven't shot an open gun. I think I shot a legit USPSA open gun once. I don't really remember it, but it's, from what I understand, like, they need lots of gas to run the comp to make it shoot flat. Like, the hotter that shit is, the flatter it shoots.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, and 3-gun open guns, like, they barely need a comp. Like it's just basically a frame mounted safety. They could have no comp and it really wouldn't make a difference.
Well, and there's like, is there a power factor in PCSL? I don't even remember.
I don't think so. No.
So like, okay, instead of don't run a comp, run 110 power factor ammo. Just run mouse farts.
Yeah.
With like a 3-pound recoil spring, and ta-da, you have invalidated the need for
the comp is a decoration.
Right.
Honestly.
I mean, so are the magwells, but
yeah, because they never have to reload it.
Right. They're like, I don't like. Do they even have mag length limits?
Yeah, it's like limited rules. Like,
oh, okay.
For open, it's 170. For everything else, it's 140.
Because I remember talking to a 3-gun guy one time, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we run like 33 round Glock mags in our pistols because there's no rules on." And I'm like,
depends on which 3-gun rule set you're using, but yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, okay. So like, all you do is shoot. There's no manipulation of the gun. Got it.
Yeah, I just. Another thing somebody pointed out was how the 21 round mags were just simpler, and I'm like, is it simpler?
Right, because
how do you track? If you can put if you've got a 20 round CZ mag and you can put 22 in it, you're gonna screw around with trying to make 22 go in there. Like, you're gonna be messing with springs. You're not gonna. It's not that simple.
Right. Well, and it and enforcing it becomes complicated, but it also doesn't do anything. Like, what does a 21 round or 20 round magazine capacity do that you must use a 140? Like, oh no, you get 3 more rounds. Like, at that point you're splitting hairs. Like, it doesn't matter.
No, but like in USPSA though, the carry optic, limited optic mag game really started with there's that classifier where it's like 888. It's 24 rounds. It was a stage at
Production Nationals,
at Production Nats when we were there in 21. And if you don't have 24 in the gun, it sucks. Like, you got to stick a reload. And so I got stuff to make sure I could get at least 24 in my Glock mag. And so I have one mag, I can get 25 in the gun. So
I have 6.
But you're gross though. You have enough mags to not fill a mag at a nationals.
Correct. Peasants. So
gross.
Right, but like I look at it from a different perspective. It's like, I see that as innovation, because I'm like, hey, like, you are making the thing more effective at the task you're trying to do. But like, it kind of goes to our conversation about the night match and like the hit factor difference between a 15 round mag limit and the 140 millimeter, and you're like, it's still just one reload.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. You're not changing anything for a positive reason.
No.
Like, just make it 140 millimeters. That way, all you gotta do is go, does this mag fit this? Yes, cool, go.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's simpler in the long run. Yeah, well, then I don't have to buy extensions. And yeah, that's true. Okay, but everybody's got them. So it's like buying cleats for baseball. Like, you're just going to do it. It's not really that big of a thing. I mean, the actual conversation, like the actual original post wasn't really, I mean, there were some mild revamps. Like, is it time to get rid of Major? I don't know. If we were starting the sport today, we wouldn't have it.
Right.
There's that. You just added in a thing, though, about magwells.
Yes.
What about magwells?
Well, because I was having a conversation with a guy, and I feel like someone had asked me a question about magwell, but I remember having a conversation with a guy about, because it was a post about like what divisions people are shooting, and the idea was within USPSA rule set combining limited optics and carry optics, and I said, which way would you go? And he's like, well, I'd go to limited optics, and I'm like, well, I would take them to carry optics, and he's like, why? Like, limited optics, it would be easier, and I'm like, take the magwell off, like just allow single action.
Yeah,
and he's
single
like, well,
action, no magwell.
Right. Like, I feel like I have magwells on guns. Yes, it does make the reload, basically invalidates the like skill to reload, because it's really easy to hit a like 1 second reload with a magwell.
I still screw them up on my TAC Sport after reloading Glocks forever.
Right. Well, yeah, because Glocks have the wrong grip angle. But like,
Oh God.
It's one of those just like people are like, oh, I want to put a magwell on, and you're like, for one reload, like
for the one reload you got to do.
You can't find a 5 to 6 yard point and dry fire like 10 reloads a night or 10 reloads a week to like build a little bit of skill. Like I think the magwell like separating division is silly, and so I don't see it as a net positive to like the limited optics, or like even within the, I know hit factor's kind of new, and so people aren't really buying guns to fit the divisions, but like I don't see anyone like go out and get a magwell and put it on their gun.
No, nobody's doing that.
And it's always funny when someone buys a magwell and then they buy the wrong base pads and they don't work.
And they don't.
And you're like, cool, you just burned $70.
Yeah. The like there's a reason why like Terran Tactical sells base pads and a magwell, because his magwell fits his base pads. You know whose magwell doesn't really work with Terran Tactical base pads?
Taylor Freelance?
Not Taylor Freelance. No, the magwell. No, they made the iron sights everybody bought. Oh, I'm blanking. Oh shit. Dawson.
Oh,
I had a Dawson on my Glock 35 when I was, I had a conversion barrel for a 3-gun, and then I shot 40 major and USPSA, and the little pin on Terran extensions doesn't jive with the magwell, so I had to drill a hole in it.
Yep.
So,
well, yeah, I've made that mistake too of getting base pads and being like, oh shit, these don't work with the magwell that I have on my gun.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
By the way, listeners, raise your hand if you were screaming Dawson at your phone as I was trying to think of what it was. God, I hate it when I do that.
And what about thumb rests?
Thumb rests are dumb. They're pointless. I don't use my thumbs aren't on the gun. Period. So
right. We were just talking about where your thumbs are, and like
thumb rests are stupid.
Every time I see one on a Shadow 2, I lose respect for that shooter. Yes, I'm talking about Christian Seiler.
There are some people who get them though as an index point. If that's why, then I don't think it's as dumb. I still think it's dumb because you could just get your index point on the slide stop, but whatever. But if you're actually pushing into it, it's pointless. The amount of control, it's sort of like pull back hard with your index finger on your support hand, and see how that works out for you, pulling back hard on the trigger guard. You know?
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I know Eric Graffel does it, but he's Eric fucking Graffel.
Did Marvin do that?
Did he?
I think when he first started, I feel like I remember he did that at Iowa section like 4 years ago, and when they were driving the like 9 hours back to the opposite side of North Dakota, they had him dry fire in the back of the truck to fix his grip.
He was like 12 then too, wasn't he?
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was a hot minute ago. So on that note, though, like one of the things that kind of came up in that Reddit discussion was, then people can shoot the guns they want, in the PCSL one gun division because they can shoot what they want, Well, you can shoot what you want now.
Yep, you've always been able to.
You've always been able, exactly. You can shoot whatever you want to. If you have a Glock 26 with a comp and a frame mounted optic and a 170 millimeter magazine, you can shoot it in open.
Yep.
But what guns do people actually want to shoot? Well, one sort of realistic thing in terms of, and this is sort of like the echo chamber we're in because we're gamer shooters, We're not just like your average pistol owner. I'm not even talking about tactards. I'm talking about your average pistol owner.
Oh yeah.
Like there's way more.
Fire
there's
box
way
of 50
more
rounds a year.
Yeah, there's way more of those people than there are tactards or gamers like us.
Yep.
And like when I have a concealed pistol permit class, you know what guns I see the most? If I'm going off the top of my head,
Ruger 22s.
I'm discounting all 22s. I'm about ready to ban them for my classes because they never work. Except the Ruger SR22. That has been like the most reliable 22 pistol.
Oh,
in classes. That's not like a Mark gun, like a Mark IV or Mark III.
I'm going to say that you mainly see either Springfield XDs, SIG P365s, or Smith & Wesson Shields.
I see a buttload of XDs. I see a buttload of Glocks. I see a buttload of SIGs in general, whether it's a 320 or one of the 4 different 365s that aren't really even the same gun. I even see a fair number of 226 or 229s.
That's weird.
Here and there, not as much, but I see a lot of just random SIG guns. Do see a few CZs. The SPO1 Tactical is pretty popular. Like I'll see that come through here and there.
Yeah.
But and M&Ps. I see a lot of M&Ps.
Yep.
You know what I don't see a lot of? Single
Rolling
action
blocks?
pistols.
Yeah, because the safety is scary. It's not like...
Well, no, it's funny you say that because a lot of people will... I should say not single action pistols. I do see a fair number of 1911s and, every other variant of that. Do see a fair number of those. Don't see a lot of staccatos. Don't see a lot of any single action pistol outside of occasional 1911s really ever.
Right, because the vast majority of people buy a gun as a talisman against evil, and they want it to protect their life, but they also want to buy it as cheap as humanly possible.
Yeah,
and so buying a $2,500 gun to them is like holy shit, and for us it's like, maybe
no,
next
I'm
year.
like holy shit. Like I'm totally holy shit. Like, is that $3,000 staccato really 700% better than my Glock? No, it's not.
Nope.
I'm gonna continue to spend money like I'm smart,
right?
And
as I said,
get value for what my money is spending.
The Shadow 2 is, in my opinion, the peak money to performance gun, especially right now because they're selling for like $850.
Well, yeah,
but people. Going back to the question, is like, what guns do people actually want to shoot? People talk a lot about like, oh well, like if we had this division, everyone would come shoot it, or if we allowed this gun, like everyone's going to come. It's like, no, they won't. People want a division they think they will do well in, by buying skill. Then they show up and find some autistic dude that's been doing the sport for 7 years who will stomp their dick in.
Actually, anymore, you're seeing it somebody who's done it for 2 or 3 years, but they're younger and really athletic, and they figure out the shooting part and they crush souls.
Exactly. And so what people want is a division where they think that they will do well with their Roland Glocks or their Staccato XCs. But as we said, you could shoot those. It's called open. But then they go, well, I'm not shooting that dumb major power factor. Then. Right. And I'm not competitive.
You weren't competitive to begin with, pal.
You were never going to be. And it's like, so people have this theory, or like people will say like, oh, I want a division where I can shoot my 10 millimeter, and you're like, no, you don't. Like,
I own one. I don't.
Nope.
I was joking about it. I don't think I do anymore. Maybe like a 3-stage indoor match in the winter. Maybe
exactly like a 2 or 3 stage indoor match is something
right. No,
where
I can find my brass.
Right, where you can break out the dumb thing, or like, there should be a Desert Eagle division or a Magnum division,
God.
And you're like, no, there shouldn't. But people keep talking about it because they're like, well, like, what if I need to like plan for like a bear like attacking me? And I'm like, I'll bring a 9mm because I'm just going to shoot myself.
9mm and
I'm not fighting a bear.
I'm sorry if I walked on your joke. Oh God, that was funny. If you missed it because I was walking on him, he said, I'm going to bring a 9mm so I can shoot myself if the bear is charging.
Yes. I'm not getting eaten. Like, I don't know that they kill you. Like, I don't think they care if you're dead. I think they will just keep eating you while you're alive. I'm like, nope. I'm just solving the problem myself.
Yeah, it's my understanding grizzlies will they'll fuck you up, but they're not really trying to eat you. If a black bear comes after you, they're probably trying to eat you.
Yep,
but that's less likely to happen.
And there's almost like no recorded cases of 10mm actually working, but it's just this fantasy that every gun owner has.
There was research done on bear defense incidents with like all the pistol calibers. Like someone, this is just some dumb blog post. God, I wish I could find it. But literally every pistol cartridge from 22 and 380 all the way up to 454 Casull or whatever had made a successful defense of life against a bear.
Because at the end of the day, just like in your self-defense situations, it's the act of shooting at someone that they go, oh crap, I'm being shot at. They don't care what caliber it is.
No.
They're just like, big explosion thing, run away.
And if the big explosion doesn't scare them, the hot bumblebees that are stinging them in the face or whatever, like, it's like, what's that? Like, some of them, I mean, it's also happened where they don't give a shit and they're just coming through it. But they've also done that with bear spray too. Like, a lot of times they react, sometimes they don't. You know,
I read about I think it was a wildebeest or one of those types of animals in Africa that got shot with like an elephant gun, and it knew it was going to die, and it still ran this dude down because it was like, you know what, you took me, I'm taking you with me. It's like, if they're motivated, they're motivated. It doesn't matter what caliber you bring.
Yeah. I wish I could find that. It was years ago. About it was an actual chart, and literally like, here this one's actually, this is from AmmoLand. It's actually citing articles. Somebody May 16th, 2016 uses a 10mm handgun to defend themselves against a grizzly. May 28th, 2016 in DuBois, Wyoming, a 40 cal pistol was used against a bear. 45 long Colt in 2012 in Wyoming. Hell yeah. These are all Wyoming.
So don't go to Wyoming if you don't want to pet a bear.
Stay away
I think they look like they're friend shaped. I believe they want hugs.
Yeah. They don't though. Although you can hug the one at Shields, Jeff. Does your Shields have a grizzly bear you can hug?
No, they don't have.
When you're up here, you'll have to go to Shields and hug the grizzly bear.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, you can do it. You sure can. Okay. What guns do people actually want to shoot, though? I think the answer is
something in 9mm.
Reasonably priced in 9mm, I think. It's sort of like the whole division thing with what are people wanting to actually compete in? Dots, 9mm, and
high capacity.
And high capacity. As much as I did not think the capacity was as big a factor, I have been proven wrong because I sent out the email to everybody signed up for Great Plains next weekend and said, just so we're clear, if you're in practical optics, that is a 15-round division. If you're in enhanced optics, you can fill your mags. And immediately, people started jumping over to enhanced optics. And I know we're going to end up having to do a big, giant tablet change both mornings of the match. And like, oh, I don't see any emails from Practice Score. Let me tell you this, people. If you are shooting matches and you use Practice Score to sign up for matches, for the love of God, go in and whitelist no reply at practicescore.com and allow it to show up in your email. Because match directors, that's our only way to communicate with you prior to a match. Now, for most club matches, it doesn't matter. But for big matches, it matters. So please, whitelist no reply at practicescore.com or whatever the email address is. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now. Okay. You added in another thing here. What are we doing on time? I don't know how long we ran before it crapped out. But we're just hunky dory on time. Okay. You added in that you trained with Lane and did the Tim Herron stage, and you thought it was great.
Yes. So I was going to phrase it more funny that we shot Tim Herron for training today, and it's a really good stage. Like if
that
you're
classifier.
Yep. So you don't need to put the wall on the back because even Tim Herron has said that wall is completely useless and doesn't help because originally he was using the wall to block the targets to make them partials, and USPSA was like, oh, well, people will shoot the walls, so we'll just move them away from the walls. And he's like, then why did you leave the wall there? Because like now it serves no purpose. So we shot that this morning, but instead of we exchanged 2 of the open targets for mini poppers. And when you're shooting with a super squad level GM, you tend to try to push it to try to keep up with him, and it doesn't always go very well. Also, I'm getting back into match condition. Stayed up till 2 a.m., 2:30, give or take.
Yeah.
How
drunk
a
were
little
you?
bit. Not really. Like I went to a really shitty bar. It wasn't fun, and
but you weren't in like someone else has to call the lift for you, and then they have to ride with you in the lift to make sure you get home.
No, I'm a professional drinker. I get myself home.
Oh, okay.
But go to bed at 2 a.m., wake up at 6:30. Like I'm getting back on that train. Just took me missing a match to get back on that, but. Yeah, shooting Tim Herron's little stage is a great, and changing out for the mini poppers really helps you focus on like the fundamental skills. And
swapped out what for mini poppers?
The two outside opens is what we originally made.
The 2 back
poppers.
targets.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And then we ended up moving the targets around and switching it out, and because when me and Lane train, like we just kind of set up a small stage and then like try to shoot the stage, and it's kind of like our application day. He does a lot more fundamentals practice, and this is kind of where he puts all the fundamentals together. This is kind of my only practice, so like I just keep doing the thing. But it actually went great, and it was kind of funny that like I've been finding lately that I've been trying to push my speed because I always believe in pushing speed, always. And then like I'll finish the round by shooting like a conservative all alphas version, and it's like, oh, you were actually either the similar time or slightly faster. Yeah,
just shooting alphas, like it's not, as long as you're not over confirming, it's not faster. Like I was, just to remind everybody that I beat Jeff and Steven at Iowa section last year. I remember the last stage of the match I shot, like I was so in the zone Like, there were stages I screwed up that day, but they were mostly just because of dumb or poorly executed stage plans. Like, my shooting was on point. Like, I didn't have many dumb shots. I remember the last stage was one that people did a lot differently because you could shoot a whole bunch of stuff that was in the back from the back, or you could get a little closer. It was the one where a lot of people would, like, run out of the stage to finish because there's just that one target around the corner.
Yep.
And I remember there was a partial hardcover way in the back. It's like an 18, 20-yard shot. And I was so in the zone that day. I'm like, that's Alpha Charlie. Like, and I was just shooting like as fast as I could see what was happening. Like at the, the absolute bare minimum where I saw what was happening. And I was kind of shooting like that all day. And like, I completely called that. And I've said a lot, it was the best match I ever shot, and I didn't feel like I was going that fast.
Yep.
I did not push speed at all. I was just super efficient that day with lots of visualization. And so, like, I mean, practicing going faster if you're not fast is important to do. It's still important to practice going fast, I think.
Yeah, I believe it at a very high level. At all levels, you have to push past the level you're comfortable so that you can get the feeling. It's like people don't become expert rally drivers driving slow through the course. Like, you need to know what it feels like to be on the edge of your skill and ability, and like what that feels like and what you need to do.
Yep, 100%. And if you can just like, as weird as it is, just trust yourself that it's fast enough.
Yep.
And see every shot and just trust that it's fast enough.
Well, go as fast as you can call the shots. It's kind of a good kind of rule. Like, don't just like blast the target and be like, oh, I hope they're both there. Like, go where you go, oh yeah, I know where they are. And sometimes you're going to be like, yep, that was Alpha Delta, or like that was Alpha No Shoot, whatever. Don't beat yourself up in practice for pushing a little past your level.
Yeah.
That's how you get better. People who are like, I plateaued. You're like, you won't let yourself shoot a Charlie. Of course you're going to plateau.
Yeah.
Because you aren't pushing past your ability. You are sticking very firmly in your ability.
If even really, really good shooters, I mean, like good competitive GMs, like they should have a penalty or two at, say, a level 2.
Yep.
Like they shouldn't have a bunch. At a nationals or an area match, maybe a little more than that. And then there's freaks who will have like none or one at a nationals. That has also happened, and they won. But very rarely does someone win the match with no penalties. At least that I can think of. But it's just learning where to. It's so funny. Like, I think back to when I started, and I thought that was magic.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
I never
looked
thought I'd
like
be a
magic.
master. Yeah, I never, like, I remember because I think Joel made GM the year I started. And I remember watching him and Craig Tappy and Cody and, like, being like, holy shit, like, I'll never be there. And now I'm sitting here going, oh, yeah, hopefully I can beat Joel this year and, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I never thought that I would be a masterclass shooter. Like, like, see GM as a possibility. Like, I thought that was a unattainable, like, sensei on the top of the mountain in Tibet, like, expert. And you're like, nope, it's just a dude who's drawn his gun a lot of times in his basement.
That's my favorite description of a GM ever. Nope, it's just a dude who's drawn his gun a lot in a basement. That's hilarious. There was a thing that happened that was really not good, but I do want to talk about it. The police shooting with the airmen. Where did that happen? Was that in Florida?
It was in Florida, in the same county where the Acorn landed on the cop car. And
was it really?
Yep. That was kind of one of the running jokes.
We didn't talk about this last week. I think it didn't. Did it happen prior to us recording the show? Maybe it didn't.
I want to say it happened like early May, but I think it.
I don't think it was that old.
I think it only started getting discussed and like the information released like early this week.
At least
that's when I saw the information.
When the body cam footage came out, it was very different from the description that I had read in media reports. It was not exactly. It sounded like he was just in there all by himself, and no one yelled police ever. And then when he came to the door, it sounded terrible, and it is terrible. I'm not saying it's not terrible, but then when I saw the body cam footage, I'm like, he answered the door with a gun in his hand.
Right, right, and this is where we get into like the gray zone of it, is because
very gray,
right? Because technically, he never pointed the gun.
No,
and so he was on his property, responding to someone pounding on his door, and like the video that I've watched, I think it was Police Post or some police place posted it. And the cop walks up, knocks on the door, kind of the like fist hitting the door instead of like a hey, knock on the door, and he's responding to a third or fourth party like call about a disturbance, and like you can't hear, like on the body cam you can't hear any disturbance because there's no disturbance going on. Like someone called.
He's responding to whatever the call was.
Whatever the call was, but it like someone called the leasing office, and then the lease about they heard something somewhere else, and then the leasing office called the cops, and so like the cops are like searching for whatever this is, and they can't find anything. So when they pound on this dude's door, and like the video I watched, they pounded on the door like one or two times without announcing they were cops, and then like the second or the third or fourth time when they pound on the door, they're like, hey, sheriff's department, which anyone can say sheriff's department. I mean, I don't know what area of Florida this was in, like if it was a good place or bad place, but like anyone can say sheriff's. And so the dude walks up to the door after hearing it like get slammed on. He has a gun by his side, opens the door, cop draws, puts 6 into him, which first time for cop marksmanship.
Well, at 3 feet, it doesn't take much.
Right. So put 6 into him, and it's like, drop the gun. And the dude's like, I already threw the gun away, dude. Like, I get the cop's response. I do. But if you believe in the Second Amendment, like the dude was on his property responding to a semi-aggressive, like, knock at his door in a not great, but technically not threatening manner. Like I mean, if I have lived in a not nice area of town and I have answered the door with a gun, I tend to open the door and keep the gun behind the door.
Yeah.
When I do that, but like technically he wasn't violating any law when he got shot.
No.
Like, and so there is a gray zone that is making a very interesting conversation between like the gun rights people and the Blue Lives Matter people and the libertarians and that whole sphere of people, because it is a gray zone. Cause like this dude was like a decorated soldier, or like he was a soldier part of like I think he flew on like the AC-130 gunships or something like that. And like they like he opens the door, cop goes drop gun, pull, and he
shot before he yelled drop gun.
Right. And so like he smoked this dude like seconds after he opened the door, his own door in his own home. Like,
okay. I get what you're saying, but the cop goes to the door, and I can only speak for what they're taught in South Dakota, because when I take use of force to teach permit classes, it's the same use of force concepts they teach to police officers at the academy at the Law Enforcement Training Center in our state capital. So if you're faced with a use of force situation that involves the use of deadly force, you have to articulate 3 things: means, opportunity, and jeopardy. So, did he have the means of deadly force?
Yes.
It was in his hand, in fact.
Correct.
Not just holstered, in his hand.
Right.
Did he have the opportunity to use it?
Yeah, technically.
I would say he could have used it. Now, was it pointing it at him? No. But there's a pistol in his hand. Okay?
Correct.
And could the officer say that he was in jeopardy because of this situation?
Oh, the officer can easily justify his self-defense.
Yeah, right.
100%. But your Second Amendment rights stop when you deal with the police. Like, when the agents of the state show up to your door, you have no right to defend yourself. You have no right to your Second Amendment rights.
Now, I don't know how because South Dakota passed the Stand Your Ground law a couple years ago, and it was patterned after Florida's law. I don't know the exact details of Florida's law, but I know South Dakota's really well. If it is law, and one of the exceptions to, defense of your using deadly force to defend your home is if they unlawfully entered. Well, first off, he didn't unlawfully enter, nor did they just attempt to enter the home. The cop wasn't even trying to enter. He knocked on the door and the door was opened. Okay. If it's law enforcement in the process of doing their job, doing official duty, then no, you don't have that right to use deadly force. And in South Dakota, you don't have what they call, reasonable fear if it's law enforcement. And or reasonably should have known that they were law enforcement. So between pounding on the door and saying sheriff's office or whatever he yelled 2 times, it's not what it was originally reported to be. Now, do I wish the cop had hesitated until the gun was starting to be moved towards him? Well, how long does that take?
It takes a second, but again, there's a lot of gray nuance here.
I know there is, but let me. Here's how I always describe it in classes, and let me just put it in terms where it's easier to make up your mind about what you would have done. Okay, if you were that cop in that situation at that moment when you're faced with that guy at the door with a gun in his hand, can you guarantee me you would have not shot him?
Me? Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a masterclass shooter who spends his Fridays reacting to micro movements. I'm not the average person on this one. I will admit. But if he would have stepped offline and drawn and said, "Drop your gun,"
he didn't.
He stuck his gun into this dude's chest.
The cop. Okay.
The cop drew his gun, stuck it in this dude's chest, pulled the trigger 6 times. And normally I'm like, fuck yeah, go cops, get the bad guy. This wasn't that situation. If he would have stepped offline 2 steps or 1 big step, he would have had at least an opportunity to be like, whoa, I'm a cop, blah, blah, blah.
Here's another thing, though. He's just all of a sudden presented with this out of nowhere.
Right, just like this guy's presented with a dude pounding on his door at sometime in the afternoon by the look of where the sun was.
Yeah, I don't know what time of day it was.
Right, so put it also, but because my buddy Lane pointed this out, is we always look from the perspective of the cop, but look from the perspective of this dude. He heard someone pounding on his fucking door. And he could have had some music on. He could have whatever. He might not have heard the cop say, "Hey, police department."
Here's the thing, though. I'm kind of looking at it from the perspective. I'm not looking at it as a cop or a person. I'm looking at it as both are just people, and
right.
Neither one of them is a cop.
Well,
should a trained police officer should have more restraint? I understand, but
they're not trained. They have
more training than the average concealed carry holder.
Barely, and
no,
it's
they have a lot
skill.
more than that. Shooting skill, yes, they get way more use of force training than the average concealed carry pistol permit holder.
Well, yeah, but
most you get it once every 5 years.
Right, but again, it comes down to this idea of this guy answered his door legally, maybe not smart, but legally, he technically didn't break any laws walking to that door. Being in his own home with a gun, he did nothing legally wrong and died, and this cop will walk away with a slap on the wrist, probably feeling a little bit bad, but like he technically, like, yeah, he probably isn't in the wrong, but like the dude heard a pounding on his door, was like, who the hell is pounding on my door? May or may not have heard. We will never know because this dude is dead.
And I'm not so much sticking up for the cop and saying the victim was wrong here. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's a really shitty situation, and I completely understand what you're saying, but I also understand why the cop fired.
Yeah, I understand why he fired. I just think that there was a lot of shitty things he did leading up to that situation that created a situation that didn't need to exist.
Well, I guess it was a lot different than what had been reported.
Yeah,
and
but that's all. I mean, that's all reportings.
Yeah, well, I mean, but but to say that, I don't know. I've never been in that situation, so it's when it's something this gray, it's hard for me to judge that hard. That it's like for anybody to say like it's 100% a bad shoot. I completely disagree. Could it have gone better? Yeah, of course. Could he have done things differently? Yeah. But there's way worse shootings that have happened than this.
Yeah.
I mean, way worse. Like the guy with the car a couple weeks ago on police posts, where the car was driving towards him at like 2 miles an hour, and like guy starts shooting at the driver, like they're trying to run him over, and that wasn't even what was happening. Like that's way worse. I mean, this is a shitty situation, 100%. And
but it does teach you, do not handle firearms around the agents of the state, because they have the legal right to end your life, and they will suffer no consequences for it, and you'll be dead, so you don't have to deal with it. But like the agents of the state have the trump card, and you have to be careful around them.
Yeah. That's 100% correct. I like how you're saying it in a very libertarian way. That
oh yeah, no, I
the
love
agents of the state.
I love to embrace it because I love to get a little political. I love when I see like "Don't tread on me" stickers next to "Blue Lives Matter" stickers, and I'm like, do you know who's going to do the treading?
Yeah.
It's going to be agents of the state, those same blue lives that matter.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that irony. I don't know. I mean, I've been watching these things and literally studying it and teaching it for the last 7 years, and this is I think this is way more gray than a lot of people think it is. It's not as bad a shoot as it appears. I think that's just my opinion, but yeah, it sucks for sure. Okay, do you have anything else more lighthearted we can end the show with?
What
we gotta have something.
What would be the best gun to take against a robot horde? So I'm thinking
God.
The robots.
Are we thinking like from Terminator?
No, I'm thinking from iRobot. So
that's even worse. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've got like that plastic shell, but they have like, you know, they're still like a mechanical body. What gun you taking? Like what's your go-to like zombie or robot horde gun? Part
of the reason is because Grantham dropped this video today about the M1A Scout. I'm going M1A Scout or SOCOM 100%. Like if I'm gonna be shooting semi-auto something, like I want it to be heavier than a 5.56 for sure. Shotgun not gonna be useful from far enough away. Yeah. Something semi-auto with a 308. That's what what I'm going for.
My first thought was either like a FAL or G3.
I'm an American. I'm going to take the dumber gun with the nicer trigger.
I side with those dirty Europeans and all the wars they fought, but or because like full autos not helpful in a robot horde. Now, rifle wise, yeah, it's either. I mean, you could go M1 Garand, get that little extra oomph behind it.
Yeah, but compared to a 308, it's not enough oomph to justify capping yourself at 8 rounds.
That's true. So you got that. Do you bring a sidearm?
Yeah, my sidearm is a 249 Bravo. Or 240 Bravo. Whatever that is. Is that 240 Bravo?
I'll just have a minigun on my shoulder.
That's the 7.62 one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 240 Bravo. Sorry, I conflated the 249 and the 240. My bad.
I'll be the guy from the Predator movie, and I'll just bring a minigun, and just walk around with that as my sidearm.
Yeah, there you go. No, it'll be like Call of Duty sidearm. Like I'll have 2 light machine guns. I'll have an M240 and a 249.
Nothing will affect your speed whatsoever.
No, I can still sprint. I can still run a 5-second 40.
Right. I think I'd go like G3 with. I think I'd bring the Glock 20. I think I'd bring a 10mm just as a.
Yeah. No, I don't know. You kind of made me hedge on the pistol after the conversation last week about in civil unrest, but yeah,
robots are harder.
Yeah. 100. What would you rather fight, Jeff? An iRobot or a grizzly bear?
Oh, an iRobot, no doubt.
I think there's a better chance the grizzly bear getting scared away. I think I'd rather take on a grizzly bear with firearms.
Okay, that is reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah. The iRobot is programmed to kill you, and it won't stop. It's a computer. It doesn't feel pain.
Well, and it doesn't
feel fear.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. No, the grizzly bear is the right option because you could literally scare them away with a firework.
Yeah,
just throw a bunch of black cats at them, and they'd be like, nope.
And they might just be bluff charging anyway. You never know. All right. Well, folks, if you're coming to Great Plains this weekend, looking forward to seeing you. I'll be there. A giant stress ball until it's time to shoot, and then I'll finally relax.
Make sure to get your Michelle Weitzel MW Activewear shirt at the check-in table.
No, it'll be at your stage. I'm way handier than that.
Oh, it'll be at your stage.
I don't do this whole check-in thing. You check in at your stage, period. It's so much easier. It's so much less hassle. The whole giant check-in process, completely unnecessary. Just check in at your stage. I'm going to come to your stage and make sure all the tablet shit's right. That's how we're going to do it. Plus, we have Wi-Fi all over the place now, so all I got to do is sync from the tablets. It'll be a lot easier. And we'll have instant scoring. You'll have that now that we have Wi-Fi everywhere. And that'll be good. Oh, by the way, we got a Patreon. You're missing out on shows, people. We have more shows if you just subscribe to our Patreon for $3.57 a month. And I didn't know this. I just did the thing. Apparently, I knew it charged sales tax, but I didn't know there was an option to have it, after the fact, or not.
Yeah.
Not tacked on. But the world is used to having it tacked on. I never gave it a second thought, but apparently Robert thinks that's evil to have it tacked on afterwards. Well, I think he's just jealous. They're only charging $1 a month. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Patreon.com/NotAnotherShootingShow. Our Reddit, NASS, the sub on Reddit, and MW Activewear. Get your jerseys from Michelle. They're awesome. He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show.